welcome to another episode of Will It Work? So I don't generally collect clone systems or junky systems from China. However, if I have them, I'll add them to my collection because, I acquired them either because they were very inexpensive, somebody gave one to me, said, hey, I saw this, thought of you, can add it to your collection, etc. And that's cool. But, I have some rather specific rules in terms of what I will spend a lot of money on. This is obviously not something that I will. This Power Games Super Entertainment System with the high-tech controller, and there's like two different styles here of controller, some sort of silver gun, looks like some guy from Ultra Vortec, and I have no idea what's going on here. It's just junk. Like there's a penguin, which I guess is the main system. I believe this came out sometime around the Wii U time period. So it's not that old. And I do have a lot of systems that aren't that old. And I feel like I was looking at them. I have a lot of TV games that are plug and play, and we'll talk about some of those when I get to them as well. And I just feel like, when am I going to show them? You know what I mean? Like, I'm just going to find things that I think I have all the parts for, etc., pieces together, and we're going to take a look at them. And, I'll try to mix it up, basically. And so today we have this one. It's Power Games. So let's open this up. I have never played this. This could be filled with rocks. I have no idea. It could be filled with bamboo or something. Let's find out. It just says made in China on it, too. There's like no manufacturing anything. Unique detachable light gun. Like a piece of foam. And, and there we go. It's like these are gray on this side. They're black on this side. And then you open it up and they're blue. How does that even work? Is it just like that's just the color of plastic they had that day? I don't know. Part of me thinks like I don't like to open systems that are unopened because they're more collectible that way. But I think it's safe to say nobody's probably going to be collecting old Chinese consoles. So we'll go ahead and open this one and set it up. Plus it's already torn, so whatever. So the wireless, what does it say? Unique, detachable light gun. Okay. So I'm not sure what that's about. Oh, and it has 111 in one games. So this is telling me, because of this cartridge here, that this is likely some sort of, this system is likely like a Genesis or a Nintendo clone of some sort. Let's say on here, avoid exposing. Okay, because this just looks like if I got my Interton out here and plugged this into it in one of those ports, I'm pretty sure this is just going to be some sort of Genesis emulator. Yeah, and I do have a lot of clone systems. Some of them are unique for the hardware. But on the whole, I don't like to collect clone systems. I won't spend money on them, basically. If you were like, this is the Genesis 2, and this is the Genesis 3, and this is the Genesis 4, like, I don't care about that. Because to me, when you're playing like an old game, or you want to experience an old game, actually, this feels pretty good, to be honest with you. The buttons are a little bit mush, but this D-pad feels good. Ooh, that's really recessed in there. That's a power on. And then you plug the joystick into here. Okay, so this is like the game system, I guess. Take some batteries. We'll get some of those. Weird. Okay. This must be for player 2. So player 2 is over here. So you don't need the transmitter unit in player 2. We're going to leave player 2 there since we don't have a second player. But yeah, I don't get down on just having the different hardware. As long as I have a bit of hardware, then we're good. Look at this. So the cartridge of which there is one with 111 games on it. Which way does it go? I'm thinking this way. Okay, that felt terrible. It's in mono, right? So I'm not even going to open these because I happen to have some cables already out for this task we are doing. Phew, smells like a factory. Cheap plastic. Quality control passed. Like, did it really? Is there really quality control? It's just some guy slapped stickers on it that say quality control. That's their quality control board. Yeah, anyway, but it's like with the hardware, it's like I just want, people to like have the experience, or myself have the experience, and you don't need multiple consoles that have the same experience. Especially like the original hardware, I would be in favor of more than later editions. Although, it just depends, because the original hardware tends to be like the first edition tends to be the one that's most compatible with, not always, but most of the time, with all the game software. Because a lot of times, they make changes later and then they say, well, this particular game won't work or whatever, because we've made these changes. Yeah. All right. Got the power plug in here. So hopefully nothing catches on fire with Crazy Penguin Guy. Crazy controller. We'll put the rest of this aside. We don't need the instructions, right? We don't need the instructions. We can figure this out on our own. So I'm guessing this thing just stands up like this. And then you'll play like that. Oh, and the light gun, I'm not even going to unwire the damn thing. We'll just plug it in like that. All right, I'm going to pause the video for a moment, and I'm going to go get some batteries. Hang tight. Okay, I got some batteries in here now. Took them out of my TurboGrafx Express that I'm looking at in order to record a new video on. It's oddly warm up on the top side, but the batteries are still valid. This unit needs to be refurbished, this TurboGrafx, but we'll talk about that later. It works, but it's got some issues, which isn't unusual. So, all right, I turned that on. Let's see. Reset. This is on here. How does this turn on? Cartridge. Cartridge is sort of in. It's like weirdly sunken in or something. Is it straight? I guess it's straight. It's plugged in. Oh, you push in the mouth. Okay, cool. So looks like we're getting video. So I'm going to switch over to the video feed, and we'll take a look at it. Probably not going to play the shooting games, but we'll see. Maybe this gun actually registers without a raster scan. We'll find out shortly. Hang tight. Okay, here we are. Sure, I've got my audio works. Okay, so this is the menu. 111 in 1. Power games. And yeah, I'll have to probably look around online and see what this is emulating. This is definitely Tecmo Bowl, though. It's kind of telling me it's an NES. So it's probably just a NES emulator. It has a light gun, probably for Duck Hunt. So that makes sense why the light gun's there. There's this weird detachable controller. So basically it's an emulation. Contra 2, 5 Days, Paperboy, Teenage Mutant, Piper Olympic, Desert Tank, Aladdin 3, Tecmo Bowl, Super Mario, didn't bother changing that name,
Ninja 3, Twin Bee, Frontline, Elevator Action, probably. 10-year QSL, Squoon, Slaycom, Mach, Dragonfire, Tetris 2, 1942. I played a lot of that when I was young. Lot. Miss Pac-Man, Bomb Check, Mario Brothers, Pac-Man. Let's see what we got here. Duck Hunt, Donkey Kong, Dig Dug, Defender, Clash, Magic Show, Star Force. Should we play Star Force? Galaga, Space ET, Burger Time, Battle City, Lode Runner 1, Wild Gunman, Ninja Gaiter, Excite Bike. This is definitely an NES emulator. Joust, Kung Fu, is it like Yar Kung Fu? Combat, Galaxian, Orchard Kavas, Circus Chablis, Road Fight, Karateka, Spell like Mag Max. Let's play some Mag Max. A? Oh no, that didn't do it. Let me do another map. Well, that didn't do it either. Okay, how about C to select? Nope. How do you select one here? Oh, probably by pushing, what, start or select? There we go. Oh, there we go. Mag Max. See how it plays. NES is pretty easy to emulate at this point in time, right? So, yeah, this looks like just your standard old school 8-bit. You know what? I didn't own a Nintendo DS for the longest time. I didn't even own a Master System. At that time, a lot of games were, you know, you could get an NES or a Master System or something, but a lot of people were home computers at that point, like Amigas and things like that, because that kind of got you to the next level in terms of 16-bit gaming. And so I took a while to get there, too. I was still playing like games on the Commodore 64 and stuff, which was, for all intents and purposes, when you're comparing that to like the NES and the what do you want to call it? The Sega Master System. Trying not to die here. It's comparable, right? Oh, I went underground. I just want to get the legs, and then we'll stop. But, you know, the thing I didn't really realize when I was a kid is that, you know, just because, like, the systems are comparable, you didn't have the same, I already got those parts, guys. Games, right? Because people wanted to play arcade ports. But, you know, at the same time, I wanted to play RPGs, and I found that RPGs on the old 8-bit like computers, like Commodores and Apples and things, were just far and away better. Because the keyboard just gave you a lot more, and the disk drive just gave you a lot more depth. And they got better on the systems as they went, you know, and to the point where I think, like, you know, the Final Fantasy series certainly, and Phantasy Star certainly did a lot. But, you know, it was like Zelda. Like, if you wanted to do, like, some RPGing, you had to play, like, an action RPG like Zelda. Or, there we go. And we got the legs. Even though I'm flying, I'm not actually walking. Oh, and then I've lost legs. Okay. Power games. Do we even bother trying a different one? So I turned the power off, and that actually does nothing. It just shuts the controls off on the controller. So let's turn off the penguin's face. Turn them back on. Let's look at something that we can really Mickey Mouse. I used to play a lot of Karateka. Karateka, Popeye, Galaxian, Donkey Kong 2. Anybody remember Donkey Kong 2? Is that a thing? Yeah, it's Donkey Kong Jr., right? And I just recently played this on, what was it? And this is actually a much better version of it than the one I played on the Atari. Was it? ColecoVision. ColecoVision. This looks much better. It's probably arcade perfect. Ah! And I'm just terrible at it. It's hard to talk and do this at the same time. So anyway, this is the Power Games, and I guess, like, you know, if you could get this for $50 or something, or less, you know, not bad, right? Wireless controller, kickback. You got a full selection of 8-bit games to play. You got 2 controllers for 2 people in the house to play. And yeah, overall, not terrible for a clone system. It plays all right. I didn't do the light gun, but you don't care, and I don't care. You don't care. We don't care. We're just going to move on from this one. But I don't think it's terrible by any measure. I think that if emulation thing is is a thing, and this one works pretty good. The controls are pretty solid, and you got a lot of game selection here. It doesn't look like you can add your own games, but I'm sure with things like this, you could probably figure out a way to hack it so that you could. Oh, how does this cartridge go back in here? So anyway, I'm not going to hold you here hostage while I go through all this. But be watching for the next one that you got to see today, the Power Game Super Entertainment System from China. And honestly, there's no... Let me see here. Hold on. I'm keeping you on a blue screen, and I apologize for that. It says in the thing here, there's just no manufacturer at all. I mean, there's literally no paperwork anywhere that says who made it.